Hi guys, so today we're reading this book named This is New York by M.Sasek. So, M.Sasek, when he traveled to Paris, a person asked him to write a children's guidebook. So he started writing a children's guidebook about the big and famous cities about the world, like this is London, this is Paris, and then he wrote this is New York. And some of these facts that are going to be in this book are really old because this book was published in 1960. So it's pretty old, and I want to start reading it. So, This is New York by M.Sasek. Okay, I'll throw in another clock. In the year 1626, a Dutchman, Peter Minuit, bought the island of Manhattan from the Native Americans for $24 worth of handy housewares. Wow, I think that's really low because now it will be so much times bigger. It remains biggest bargain in American history. Businessmen say that now we would have to throw in another $8 billion. What? This is so big. Oh my gosh. So $24 in the past, thousands of years ago, and now it's about 8 billion. The sum has grown a lot times higher. And no wonder, New York is the largest city in the Western Hemisphere, and it is full of biggest things. Let me show you the picture. So this is Manhattan Island here, and it's famous with its skyscrapers here. This is the Hudson River, and these are the other islands around the Manhattan. One of the tallest buildings in the world, the Empire State Building, which is now Burj Khalifa in the Emirates Arabian States, 172 feet high, 102 floors, and 74 passenger elevators, and the most spectacular views from the top. Whoa, that's a huge number of floors, and at that time, really super much elevators, and plus, so high. Times Squares and the biggest traffic jams in the world, the biggest cars. So I want to show you a picture of what it looks like. This is the Empire State, this tall. I want to show you that here's the Empire State drawn here. And these are the jams here, and this is the biggest car, I could say. Next, the biggest stretch of streets to be policed, 6,000 miles of them. This is so long. I can imagine 6,000 miles of police doing the traffic. That's a huge amount. The biggest Sunday papers. Ooh. But nobody now reads newspapers. Most of us don't because we find the news in the internet. So we don't basically use a lot of newspapers. But at that time, they used a lot of it. One of the biggest ports in the world, thousands of vessels yearly call its piers. But now it is in Singapore. Statue of Liberty, the largest lady in the world, from whose head, 10 feet wide from ear to ear, you can watch the city skyline and the busy sea. Whoa, that statue is really big and bigger than I thought. So basically, if you don't know this fact, now there's a restaurant at the top. So I'm going to show you somewhere here near her hand. There's a restaurant, and at the bottom there's an elevator that takes you to this restaurant that's here. The biggest ships dock along the Hudson in Midtown Manhattan. I wonder, the biggest dock like this, but now there's a lot more different and bigger ones than this one. Let's see on. New York consists of 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Richmond, Staten Island. Here's the Staten Island Ferry. So this is the Staten Island Ferry, like I guess. And I didn't know there were 5 states in New York. That's an interesting fact. I will remember this in my head. The greatest humidity and heat attack in New York in summer, the New Yorkers counterattack with air conditioners. I think that's a kind of a joke for me. The biggest meat eater of all times, Tyrannosaurus, can be seen in the New York Museum of Natural History. Okay, that's cool. When all the air conditioners are turned on at one time, cables are burnt out, and dig we must. Wow. The biggest store in the world and the smallest. Hot dogs are famous there. Look, this is a big stone marked, and this is a tiny one. And I love hot dogs. For there are also small things in this big city. City Hall. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of the city here. But now it's changed its look since that time. It has changed a lot. There's also a village, Greenwich Village, with its small streets like Macdo Alley and small shops. Aw, this village is kind of cute looking. Look at the small shops. At that time, they should be really big, I think. Trinity Church, the oldest in New York, is not so small as it looks. Its tower is 280 feet high. I think it's now higher, but super interesting fact. There are 4,000 churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples in the city. Oh my gosh, that is really much stuff. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4,000 is 16,000 buildings almost. This is so surprised with this. There are organizations to take care of for the welfare of your body, of your soul. That's a really interesting fact. And of your country. New York is the home of the United Nations with its more than 80 member countries. People from all of them are home in New York. So this is the city of New York, and this is many homes that apartments. And this is what I talked about, your soul and your welfare. You can go shopping in any language, in German, Spanish, Yiddish. I don't know. I don't know what's the language Yiddish. Czech, Slovak, Hungarian, Italian, Russian, yeah, and even English. A supermarket. Can you read this here? If you're Chinese, you can actually read this here. It says Hang Ding Quang Lum Wa Fu. I don't know. Okay, it sounds pretty hard to pronounce. In other words, welcome to Chinatown. Ooh, I didn't know there was Chinatown in New York. I never thought there was even. Harlem is uptown. The police closed many streets in New York so that children can play there. I'm going to show you. This play street is closed. And this is Chinatown. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Park Avenue is one of the most elegant avenues of New York. In Harlem, it looks like this. Here, like this. I don't get it, why it says this. And this person is cleaning it up. And here it is, 70 blocks downtown. This is an elegant way to keep the buildings clean. Here. Whoa. From Chinatown, 70 feet. From Park Avenue, 70 feet. That is a lot bigger. People walk uptown or downtown. Dresses travel uptown or downtown. And buses too. Look, here's a picture of all the examples I just now read. I like this book and the detail it gives you. Paying your fare in the bus is like putting your pennies in a piggy bank. That's a pretty cool way of keeping coins. New York has many tunnels. This one takes the train into the building. And this one, the Lincoln Tunnel, takes cars under the Hudson River. So this is the Lincoln River Tunnel here. Here, this one. This one is the one I told you about into the building. And this is about the penny that I told you. When you come out, you are in the state of New Jersey. From here you can see that over in Manhattan, almost everywhere building is a skyscraper. Those are not, will be. New Yorkers adore to watch them grow. Look at those New Yorkers looking at the buildings that are growing here. This is before, but I imagine what will be now. Skyscraper, 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 skyscraper. Everywhere skyscraper. So much. I never knew that New Yorkers adore to watch it. I thought they were just like normal people, just walk past the building construction, but they love to see it. That's cool. This one has grown beautifully. It is the G building, part of a Rockefeller Center. For fun, you can see the sides from the top or go skating at the bottom. Aw, I wanted to go skating. You can always skate in the Central Park, even in warmer weather. How does the ice doesn't melt there? So strange. Or feed New York's huge, fluffy squirrels. They love peanuts. I wonder when I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to feed the squirrels peanuts. I wonder how they're going to like me. So this is the tall G building. It's maybe taller like I see. And this is the skating at the bottom. Skating at the bottom. And this is the fluffy squirrels. They look so adorable. Peanuts and everything, almost everything else you can buy from a machine. What? First time I ever heard something strange. Even a pen. This is incredible. Super incredible. Look, and these are all the machines. Look at these. Whoa. Whoa. Each one gives something different. This is Columbus Circle. Mail early in the day is better way. This is the Columbus Circle here, and this portrait drawn here. And this is the mail. That is really old time using. The George Washington Bridge spans the Hudson. Brooklyn Bridge, crossing the East River, is the oldest and popular with everyone from Cameron to songwriters. I didn't know about Brooklyn Bridge, and especially the George Washington Bridge. This is the George Washington Bridge, and this is the Brooklyn Bridge. And you see how they're different. This one is brand new, and this one is super old looking because you can see the brown. Moving on. From the Brooklyn side, this is Manhattan at night. I wonder how this looks in real life. It will be so beautiful. Look at this. Thousands of people live in each floor, or work on each floor, or do whatever. In New York, fire strikes frequently, and so do the people. Many fires, many hydrants, 90,000 of them in that time, and many fire escapes. Pretty cool. So these are the people, fire hydrants, the people, fire escapes, and the different fire hydrants. Different. Every 6 minutes, a fire alarm in the city brings out the engines, motors roaring, bells clanging, red lights flashing, sirens screaming. Oh my gosh. 6 minutes? I wonder what now would be. But I would imagine those fire trucks running around. Hydrants can also have other uses. For instance, as Little Tony's starting point in business. Cool. With luck, if it grows to this, shoe and hat cleaning. Big Tony and CO. With more luck, Tony ends up here in Wall Street. Its name comes from wall built here by the Dutch against the Native Americans. Here are the pictures about the cleaning shoes in old times. I wonder if they're still real. And this is the building. Art seekers can seek in art more than 200 art galleries and 9 art museums in New York City. This one is built by Frank Lloyd Wright. If there's about 200 art galleries in New York in that time, I wonder how much are going to be now. So this is the art gallery museum. This is the really big one and a famous one in that time. On the beach of Coney Island, 1 million sunseekers seek on a summer Sunday. Look at this beach. Behind there's lots of stuff to do. Oh my gosh, so much people. If there's 1 million on Coney Island in New York, I can imagine the population there now. Yankee Stadium. Baseball or football fans, 70,000 strong, come here to watch their heroes. Everything in America comes wonderfully wrapped. Giants, including football players. It's a team named Giants. So this is the huge Yankee Stadium in that time. I wonder if it's closed now or there are only football players or baseball players. This is how the Giants looked. I like that cloak. I would like also a cloak that is like this. A drugstore. You can get everything here from bath soap to bicycles, from hamburgers to Hamlet. Drugstore? I don't know what that means because I don't know those words, but it pretty looks big, but not as big as a supermarket. Maybe that's what. Small, bigger than a shop, but smaller than a supermarket. And here's Times Square, the biggest supermarket of all. Frankfurters, hamburgers, Aromaram, Burgorema, movies, people's car, lights from dawn to dawn. So much. This is the town square. Here, that's the Times Square. And I wonder where the biggest store is here. I can't just find it. A few steps uptown on Broadway, watch for the weather sky high above. When it is orange, look out, but when it's green, get ready for another lovely day in New York. This is New York today. Page 10. In 1960, the tallest building in the world was the Empire State Building. Today, it is the Twin Pertons Towers in Malaysia. That's quite a time before, but today, if you know, it's Burj Khalifa in the Emirates States. In 1960s, the biggest port in the world was in New York. Today, it is in Singapore. I was right. Today, the United Nations has more than 190 member nations. Cool. Today, there are 67,000 elevators in the city. Oh my gosh, so much. But now, this is a bit before, it has twice as many or maybe more. Today, there are 110,500 in the city. Whoa, this is so big. Today, a fire alarm sounds every 30 seconds in the city. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of fire alarms. There are more than 450 art galleries today and more than 100 museums in the city. A lot of cities. Today only baseball is played at Yankee Stadium. The Giants played their last game there in 1973. Okay, you played their last game in that time, but it's still open, and it only plays baseball. Giants left. So this was this book. I'm going to find another book later, and we're going to read it. But if you enjoyed this book, and I hope you enjoyed, tell me if you ever been to New York, and tell me how it felt. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!